story is one of them. And if you want to start with a story, there are few things that you can make your story more engaging and more suspense for your audience, so that they are more intrigued and they want to listen more to your stories. And this technique is probably used by a lot of storyteller, and this is what I'm going to go about, which is the third thing here. By using stories. And in using stories, there are 6 things that you need to remember, that you should use all these 6 in your story. Because these are the 6 key things that make your story have the suspense, engaging your audience, and the audience want to listen more because of this 6 items. The first thing is time. In your story, you want to put in time. Whenever you use any stories, you want to use either one of these, or 4 or 5 of this, or you can use 6 or 7 of this, or 6 of this together. So the more you use, the better it is. The first thing in story, you must put in your time. The second thing, third thing, day. Time, date, day, location. Tell them it's 6:45 on a Thursday morning, December 2010. I was walking along Bush Street and I reached a junction between Bush and Leavenworth. The third thing is an object. Object or surrounding. So you say, along Bush Street, Leavenworth, when I looked to my right hand side, I saw a car passing by. So this thing is action. I saw is an action. I saw a car passing by, or I'm sitting down enjoying my cup of coffee. Enjoying is an action. Cup of coffee is an object. Sitting in that black comfy chair with chocolate cookies baking behind the scene. Surrounding. You tell them the time, date, day, location, object, surrounding, and an action. And then only you tell them the story. So in your case, to put it more relevant to you, that you can say, after you start with your question, you can say something like, it was 6:45 on a Thursday evening, January 2011. After my long flight from Nepal, I was sitting in my living room in that white comfy couch. I turned on, I flipped open the Time magazine, the December 2009 Time magazine, and I read this article that starts with, "Does your desire to help do more harm than good?" And I was so intrigued with that article that I stayed the entire 5 minutes reading that particular article, and then you bring in the point. So you tell them the time, date, day, location, object, action that you're doing, and then only you tell them what you read about. So this is a way that you can paint the picture of your story and make it a lot more suspense. Tell them all these things first before you lead them to your message or your main point, so that you will get tremendous amount of suspense. And one of the better way that you can use, one of the other things I want to share with you is powerful, engaging stories. Most people would tell these stories, which is good, but you want to transport your audience. You want to transport your audience from where they are sitting right now into your stories. And this is a fabulous way to do it. Is let's say if I want to get audience engaged, I'll say, so I actually have this thing that I think you can apply in your presentation. It says, if I say, Rebecca, if you were to sit beside my mom just a few minutes later, you would have heard her say, you would sit beside my mom in that black comfy chair with chocolate cookies baking behind the scene. You would have heard her say something that absolutely changed your life. Rebecca, life is not about whatever you want to say. But you get what I meant. The point is, if you were to, an action, if you were to walk onto the small hallway on 650 Fremont Street on the 12th floor, you would have modalities. 3 modalities: feel, see, and hear. Feel, see, and hear. You would have seen 10 small kids waiting patiently at the end of the hallway. Or you would have hear the gushing wind that was banging on the window. Or you would have feel that scary feeling like watching the scary movie, whatever it is, I don't know. You know, you get my point. If you were to do something, you would have feel, see, or hear something. So you bring your audience. So you say, if you were to walk along if you were to visit the village in Nepal where Richard have changed the landscape of the culture of the Nepalis in that village, you would have seen the Nepalis who was previously out there poaching animals. Right now, they were cloned, they were put into an indoor space to do something, you know. You want to transport your audience to that situation, so you basically get this thing. Okay, the fourth thing I want to share with you is this, and it's it is one of the most important thing and the most powerful way to make audience believe your speech and make your speech a lot more credible. And that is important to persuade someone. The thing is called specificity. Specificity. You must be acutely specific on what you want to share with the audience. A couple of things that I can see improvement here are, first, you mentioned, I read that question in an article days after returning from my trip. You should say, you could have said, I read the January 2011 Time magazine after returning, after 7 days, on the 7th day after I returned from Nepal. Does it make sense? I think it makes sense. The other thing is wealthy new clients. I recently met a wealthy new clients at work. Wealthy new clients is very vivid, and the audience couldn't get what it meant by wealthy new clients. So you want to say, I recently met, give a name. I recently met Richard, who are half the age of Bill Gates, and he has half the wealth of Larry Page or Mark Zuckerberg or whatever Facebook founder, the half or whatever Mark Zuckerberg or something like that. Use something like use name also use a simile, which is like he is as rich as Bill Gates, or he is as rich as someone else. So when people see that, they know exactly what you're talking about. This thing, and they are here that says some call. The ambassador leads one of them. Okay, you see, there is local affiliates in Nepal made up of hundreds of local full-time employees. Instead of saying hundreds, you could put a number there and says that there is a local affiliate in Nepal made up of 435 local full-time employees and volunteers that organize and build this hand in hand, showing you how to build a house. Specific. Hundreds change to 435 people. The number is not so important, and all the things that we put here all this time, it's not so important to get the exact day that you are actually reading the magazine, or the exact article that you read, which page, but you just need to make up something so that it looks more real. And because these are all practice, of course, if you go out and present to people, and you need to get your facts right, but just for practicing, you can make up your own time, make up your own day, make up where you see this thing, make up your surrounding, and make up the action. But my point is, use these to enhance your topic, to enhance your presentation. And I think this is very powerful. The first thing is, know what you're talking about, whether you want to inform, entertain, inspire, or persuade. And the 4 things that I think you can use is, first, engaging questions, or metaphorical. You can choose either one of this. Maybe you can do one today, and maybe the next speech you can use the other one. Use story, 6 things that you should follow, and use this. This is like, I learned this from actually Patricia Fripp, and this is so good, and I see so many world champions using the exact same formula. If you were to walk in 900 Metro Center Boulevard on the 12th floor, walk to the 12th floor, you would have seen a dark hair colored woman with bright brown eyes who look a little bit like Rebecca. I'm just making things up, but you know what I'm talking about. And the other thing is specificity. Use specificity and look through and see what other specificity you can actually put in your speech and make it better. And use name as well. So this is what I can share for you today. Now it's already, oh my god, 11:52 p.m. I need to go home right now, and probably don't have parking because my garage closed at 12 o'clock, so I got to park on the street, and hopefully my car is okay. But I'm glad I can share this with you, and I hope you can make some changes that I have told you in this speech, and we can meet one day to go through what is actually more important, because all this we can do by preparing in the script. But there are things like deliverables, on body gestures, that is more practical, that can be prepared in advance, because you just have to prepare, you just have to present, and then we just help you. I could just help you and guide you to see where you should stand, how you should move. And I know this is going to serve you. You want to go out there and get started, because it's your time. Thank you so much.